Hey, what's up guys? Team Hard Life Captain Alberto Zertuche here. Alright, so I've got a bone to pick with a certain company, and the reason for it is because I've been buying a lot of mono from them for the last 5 years. Well, actually longer than that, but when I was working out of my garage back in 2006 when I first started up. I was buying it in the 5-pound skeins or lots that they would sell it in. Everything was good, you know. I figured it off their website on how much monofilament came in each spool. So off of that, that's how I guided my sales on all my leaders and everything that I do. I mean, I break it down to the foot. How much feet does it cost me to make a leader? How much feet does it cost me to make 20 liters, 100 liters, or whatever? But in reality, I've learned something very, very bad about it, and what they do is they go off a 5% margin. Plus or minus that you'll get when you make an order. That's right, 5%. And it doesn't seem like a lot when you're looking at the discount or the amount that they're saying. However, when you're supposed to get 2,150 feet and you only get 1,895 feet, that will really get to your nerves, because that's almost 200 foot of mono that you did not get but you paid for because it states on their website. So again, guys, that's something to look out. We ran into it because we started selling the 400-pound mono for the cell lines that we were making. One of our customers purchased 700 yards to go on one spool. And I was like, all right, cool. The spool holds 2,150 feet. So I started line counting it out, and what I did was, instead of subtracting 50 feet off of it and then giving him the rest, I said, go and bring it through. I'm going to do a recording. We'll record it all and see how that works out. We did that. It's got to find the film, or it's there, whatever. But we came out with that. So I made a phone call, and that's how I found out that they do plus or minus 5%. So if you think about how many hundreds of 5-pound spools I've gone through in the last 5 years, that will really cook your noodle there of how much money we were actually losing on the low side if they did that to us on, say, 10%, 20%, 30%. I don't know. But I do know the last 2 spools were all short. So this may be something y'all might want to look at or look into and maybe address. Maybe they can find a better way to satisfy our ability to get what we ordered, and or maybe they'll go back and add it to their deal that it's plus or minus 5%. However, I've got another order in today, and this one was promised that it should be exactly at the 5 pounds, because he said that he had them over spool it a little bit. So let's see what happens. And again, I'm going to go through my line spooling machine that counts the heavier monos on stuff like this, and I'm going to spool up his reel. But first, I've got to down spool his reel because he only got 1,890 something feet. So let's get on it. So this is our line spooling machine when we go from our spools this way into coils over here. And normally the only time we ever use this is if we're doing our 300 foot sections, which is 100 yards to sell in our smaller bags. And so here we go. Make sure it's zeroed out. Alright, so there you go. You see it's zeroed out. And I'm going to go ahead and down spool everything we put onto a spool the other day and re-top it back off. here's our line counter. It's at 1 foot, 0 inches, because I've already pulled out that much right there. And actually it's a little bit more, but that's fine. Do me a favor, would you mind if you can guide it on there so I can crank faster but not have it all rolled up on one side, please. My assistant, Mr. Gary. Hey, Gary Lester. Ooh, hold it. So, with remembering how I got my butt kicked on spooling this, and I decided to disassemble it a little bit and attach it to my spooling machine, but I still have to do it by hand, as you can tell, but it allows me a steadier hand to where I can reel in a lot faster and still get the line on there nice and neat, the way I'm kind of picky about that. So, let's get it done for sure. A lot better. Thought it was just me, but I could feel abrasiveness on the monofilament already straight out of the package.
I know why. I don't know if it's because
No, it's straight out of the package.
Oh.
Not because of this.
Well,
That's why I had to stop and check. So. Alright guys, well, I found some defects in monofilament. As I was spooling it off, I could feel a little bit of abrasiveness on one side or the other of the mono. So, I'm going to get with them on that, but this is really smooth on the inside and out, and it's rubber rollers there, so they catch a lot of grip, but they won't abrade the line. That's why we love using it. So when I started feeling it over there, I had to come check the gear, and I could feel it on the monofilament here instead of, on the other side. If it was doing that, then I would have to order him another spool, just because that's the way I am. But I'm going to have to get back with the manufacturer on this and let them know what I'm finding. Alright guys, we are done. We've got our 2,100 feet that we needed onto the spool with a little bit of leftover, and more than likely that's another 100 foot there, which means they went on the top end of the 5%, which is good. But at the same time too, my customer had to wait almost 3 weeks for them to figure all this out, which really sucks. But that's how 2,100 feet looks on this spool. And just to give you an idea, that's my hand, so that's a lot of 400-pound test. But he is good to go now. Beautiful.